Great, I think that's everybody. Well, good morning, everyone, afternoon, evening, depending on where you are. Thank you very much for joining us for today's webinar. I'd like to introduce the chair of today's session, Professor David Bogle. David chairs our TSP program. He's also one of the Pro-Vice Chancellors at UCL, where he looks after the Doctoral School. And David's also a Fellow of the Royal Academy of Engineering. David.
Great, thanks Richard. Welcome to everybody. Nice to see you, or sort of see you all. Nice to. So we've got participants from all over the world: Colombia, India, Jordan, South Africa, Thailand, and Turkey. So also welcome to our partners in the TSP program in these countries, and our colleagues from the Newton team in Newton Fund teams in the British embassies and high commissions, who I think we have some of them on the call as well. So just a bit of housekeeping. It's a large audience, so keep yourself on mute, and I suggest you switch off your cameras mostly just to save bandwidth. The meeting is being recorded, so if you really don't want to be recorded, switch your camera off. In the interest of time, we won't have questions, so there'll be no question and answer session, but any particular question, particularly about the grant scheme, put them in the chat, and Richard will deal with them on the TSP webpage after the webinar. Okay. So, and also any questions on technical issues with the Zoom platform, just put them in the chat, and or send Richard a private message through the chat, and he will help you once he's finished his short presentation, which he's now about to give us. Richard, over to you to make a short presentation on the new call for proposals through this Transforming Systems Through Partnership program, which is a major plank of our international activities.
อ้อมช่วยจอยอีกอันนึงแล้วเปิดไอ้นี่ให้หน่อยได้ไหม
If I can just ask everyone just to put their microphones on mute, if that's all right. Thank you very much, David. So as David said, I'm just going to give a very quick overview of the TSP program and the grant scheme that we've currently got open through the program. And if I can just, actually an internal message, Hazel, if you wouldn't mind just admitting, we've still got people coming into the meeting, if you wouldn't mind admitting them from the waiting room, I've made you a co-host of the meeting. That's all right. The TSP program builds engineering teaching, research and innovation capacity within our partner countries, universities and research institutes. And our aim is to enable those academics in such institutions to foster collaborations with local stakeholders and UK academics in order to meet complex and interconnected SDG challenges, Sustainable Development Goals challenges, in partner countries and at a global level. Let's give a brief overview of what we fund through TSP. One of the first pillars of the program is to fund challenge-led research and innovation that's using engineering to address sustainability challenges, both in the partner country and globally as well, issues of global importance. Second pillar is to form partnerships between academics, industry and other stakeholders in course design and course delivery, the aim being to equip the next generation of engineers with the skills that they need to be able to really effectively address these sustainable development challenges. And the third pillar of the program is to foster systems for collaboration and knowledge exchange in order to create a strong evidence base to build better systems for the kind of world that we want to live in the future. Now, this program, as we said, is a broad initiative. We accept proposals that tackle any sustainable development challenge. And the reason for that, the reason for keeping it broad, is because we really believe that applicants are the best people, the best placed to decide which areas are priority and what action is needed. So to assist with kind of scoping out projects with such a broad call, we'd like to recommend that you read a paper by Jeffrey Sachs and others. It's linked here, and you'll find this in the guidance note that's on the TSP webpage, which we'll link at the end of the presentation, on 6 systems transformations for the Sustainable Development Goals. And this sort of tries to divide the 17 SDGs, quite a lot of SDGs, into 6 interconnected transformations, with the idea that if those 6 transformations are achieved, we'll have achieved the 17 development goals. And you can see those 6 areas there. If you go to our website and look at the applicant guidance, you can see case studies linked to here from projects that we funded in the past that demonstrate what all of this is about. And of course, if you read the paper, you'll get a little bit more insight. And that really should be a good guide as to the types of projects that we're looking to fund. And that paper also gives very clear plug-in points for engineers, particularly to tackle the Sustainable Development Goals. Just wanted to say a few things about TSP and COVID-19. Obviously, the pandemic has really alerted us all to how complex and interdependent our world is. And I think if we have this ambition as engineers interested in sustainable development to create a more sustainable society and a fairer society, this crisis has been a real call to action in that regard. So whilst it's not compulsory for proposals through this scheme to address COVID-19 challenges, we would encourage applicants to be sensitive in their proposals to the challenges that COVID-19 presents, particularly the challenges to international exchange and collaboration, but also to try and make use of some of the opportunities that this presents engineers with to create new solutions for the new world that we see ourselves entering as a result of the pandemic. So very brief words to round off with on partnership criteria, and there is more information on the applicant guidance that's on the TSP page. But the grants on offer of £80,000, the same as last year's scheme. Partnerships need to be in line with the TSP objectives, and there needs to be a match funding commitment of at least 50%. The lead partner needs to be a university or research institution in one of the 6 partner countries on that map. And the lead partner needs to collaborate with at least one UK academic institution and a local industry partner. And there are some additional rules for India and Jordan. Again, checking the applicant guidance that's on the TSP page will give you all of that information on the country-specific eligibility criteria. And we've also written here, applicants are strongly encouraged to engage with additional partners in academia, industry, startups, government, public service sector, and regulators and society. And just a brief final word on, if I can get my slide to advance here. On the timeline, the call is currently open. Our online system is accepting applications. The deadline for this scheme is Monday, the 30th of November at midday UK time. And we hope to provide applicants with decisions by the end of February 2021. So that's everything from me. And please do check out this website, rang.org.uk/TSP. There you'll find much more detailed applicant guidance, a guide to our application form, and my email address as well. So if you do have further questions, you can get in touch. As David said, we won't have time for Q&A today, but if you post any questions in the chat, I will keep that log, and I will post answers to those questions in an FAQ page on the TSP website. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Richard. So this is, really, engineers can really be at the heart of these sustainable development goals. So can I just ask people to remember to keep themselves mute? If you're a speaker, let's see you, but keep the camera off. There's a couple of people who are not on mute here. There's a Cyrillic, Russian or Ukrainian, which I can't read. Dr. Nanthagopal, can you switch yourself to mute, please? Thanks very much. Okay, so the following presentations showcase projects led by previous awardees of this Transforming Systems Through Partnership program and its predecessor. So each speaker has got 5 minutes to present, and Richard will give you a warning, 1 minute warning at the end. But as I said, please let's see you as you give your presentation. So the first one, who I can see already, who I've met before, Professor Warisawara Wirawat from Mahidol University in Thailand. She's going to talk about rail exchange, UK-Thailand rail professionals and education exchange. Over to you.
Well, hi, David. Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay, so I use 2 different systems So you have my slides on. Well, thank you. So I don't need to put on the slides myself. Okay. So this project that I'm gonna address today is called Metro Exchange. And my name is Sarah Wirawat. So I'm from Mahidol University, Thailand. So good evening, everyone. So it's a nighttime here, but it's fun to have friends talking and discussion group here. So what I like to share today briefly, I want to share about our project that really start from the Royal Academy. So we have the project called Metro Exchange. The name, it's about, it's referred to the exchange about the metro systems. And we have the UK partner of Newcastle University. And our industry partner is Bangkok Mass Transit System Public Company Limited, or under the name of BTS, the first metro operator in Thailand. And our industry partners from the UK is Nexus Tyne and Wear, or you call like Nexus, which in Newcastle in United Kingdom. So the aim of this project is really about focusing on engineering, education, and research improvement by exchange of the good practice between the UK and Thailand, both academics and Metro itself. So the project is pretty much divided in 3 streams. It's about education, research, and knowledge sharing. So this is about the project. Can I move on to the next slide? Thank you. So what is the local context, when we talk about this project? So this project is pretty much, we brought the industry sector, which is public transport or public transit, which I believe that in Thailand, we still have a long way to go. So it's good that we can partner with the UK, which has a long history of the railway development, also the metro, as well as in the UK, there are quite a bit of master programs there compared to the other places. And, in terms of higher education, we know that it's really, a good to blend lots of actions, activity, and especially academic and industry collaborations. So that's why we brought this project together. And in terms of academics, both Mahidol University and Newcastle University, we have a master program in rail engineering. So it's really a good match to learn from each other. And in terms of, Thailand, the situation like the Thailand, we have a lot of expansion. Why in the UK, you might not have a lot of expansion, but you have a replacement. So it's sort of good to exchange the knowledge, and both BTS and Nexus, they are, in time for, like a service replacement. So they sort of learn from each other. So maybe I'll go to the next page and tells you a little bit of what we are doing under this. Okay, so the big pictures of our projects, we have like education streams, we have like the student placement for like, we call it internship in Thailand, which are project based. And we have a student deeply using the case study for their thesis. And also we turns to be like 3 academics paper. And in terms of the young one, we have a STEM to outreach at the preliminary secondary schools, as well as the university, to educate about the rail engineering. And what is really interesting as well, we managed to bring the student for a summer school in the UK. Actually, when we thought that we're gonna join with only couple, but at the end, we managed to collaborate with the master program. So we managed to bring total of, I think, around 10 to Newcastle. And we also have the colleagues from different countries to join us. And after the event, we managed to make these as a journal publication so I think this is a very good and good experience for our students. So in terms of the inbound, we have a guest, lecturing from the UK coming to Thailand, and we also produced a case teaching so that we bring the industry case not only for the research point but also to train the students. And at the end, we also make a report on innovation about rail engineering education. So this is about what's going on. This picture on this page is about the activity that's happening in Thailand. So we have a guest lecturing, we have an outreach, we have a meeting. And the next slide, which is our last one, we also have, can I have a next slide, please? Yeah, so the last one is pretty much the pictures of sort of international or the UK. So you can see we brought the students there. We managed to brought the industry to the classroom as well as bring students to the industry. And at the end, we managed to make it at, like Urban Rail Transit Journal, as well as like we cooperate with the other units, making a national conference in Thailand, which in turn to be the first international railway sort of conference in Thailand. So this is about it. So I try to make it short and welcome any comments, please.
Lovely. Thank you very much indeed. So let's move on to the next one. Is Professor Deepak Garg from Bennett University in Greater Noida in India. And he's going to talk to us about making deep learning and artificial intelligence skills mainstream in India. Over to you, Dr. Garg.
Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you, David. Thank you, Richard, and thank you, Sharad, for hosting here. Okay, so can we go to the next slide, please? So it was a wonderful project which was supported by Royal Academy of Engineering, and basically this has three objectives. One was related to skilling, and the second was related to research, and third was related to collaboration. So all the three parameters were used to make an AI ecosystem in the country. Next slide, please. Okay, so we have our UK partners, University College London, as well as Brunel University, and industry partners were NVIDIA, Amazon, as well as there were close to 50 plus industry partners in total, including some startups. And we were able to upscale this project multiple times, and we were able to attract additional funding to 40 times what the Royal Academy of Engineering has funded. So there were 1,000 plus institutions who became member of this ecosystem, which we created and named it as leadingindia.ai. So the reason for taking this project was that the ecosystem for AI skilling was missing. There was acute shortage of manpower in the futuristic skills. And due to the humongous size of higher education system in the country, there is a lot of inequality in terms of quality, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of skilling. So our effort was to fill up that gap and create a visible ecosystem for AI in the country. Next slide, please. So we were able to create stir the whole ecosystem in the India. So we given around 1,000 plus internships in last 2 years who came to our research lab and did internships at different timings with us. And 21 faculty members from different institutions completed their sabbaticals of 4 weeks to 8 weeks with us. And 16 people joined PhD program, and they were mentored by our co-partners as well as our faculty members. So 164 workshops conducted across 25 states of India. And we have trained around 10,000 academicians, and with a very wonderful feedback. And those academicians, those trainers who have been trained have enabled close to 1 million students. So the government leaders are very much appreciative of our task. And now we have been involved in various committees and various forums to discuss the policy initiative for skilling and research in artificial intelligence. So we have been also approached by a few developing countries to replicate this model in their respective country. And more than 50 news items have appeared in different mainstream media outlets. 50 plus blogs, tutorials, and instructional videos have been developed. And 90 plus AI clubs have been created across the country, which include 1,257 students. And we also organized around 19 student boot camps for first year engineering students. And 89 institutions have started either a master program in artificial intelligence or a bachelor program in artificial intelligence. And around 1,000 plus students have done online AI certification courses due to our initiative. So you can see the overall reach and scale of the program. So means I will appreciate our team who was involved, that they have spent literally 2 years without any rest, and they have gone to the length and breadth of the country to train the people in the futuristic technologies. And now we have created a niche for this AI ecosystem. So a lot of thanks all people are also giving to Royal Academy of Engineering in a big way, that how their initial funding has helped to take up the project, which also attracted more industry partners as well as more people who funded the project. Next slide. So these are some of the figures. You can see a press conference with the UK ambassador in India. You can see a head of a planning commission, which is called Niti Aayog in India, visiting this initiative and launching this initiative. And one photograph shows one of the workshop participants, and another shows that in COVID times, we have also done so many online activities. So you all can go to leadingindia.ai website and yourself see every information is given on black and white. So thank you again, and I will be open to any questions and collaborations with the audience. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thanks everybody for keeping to time. If you've got specific questions to any of the speakers, you can put those into the chat as well, or any general questions about the program. Do put them in the chat, and Richard will follow up with you later. But if the speakers could just keep watching the chat in case there are specific questions. So our next speaker is Dr. Nataporn Tonnanon from Chulalongkorn University in Thailand. So, and he's going to talk to us about biochar from macadamia nutshells for removal of pollutants in wastewater. Over to you.
Okay. Hi. Hello, everybody. The project. Next slide, please. The project is biochar from agri-waste for removal of emerging pollutants in wastewater. Biochar is porous carbon, and agri-waste is food byproduct. Emerging pollutants are pollutants caused by human beings. So I am from Thailand, and our academic partner is Dr. Rosa Busquets from Kingston University, London. And industry partners are as follow: Anamet, UK, and Bongyang Agriculture, Palm Nanotechnology, Pidu, and Bangchak Corporation. The aims of this project are to develop and implement efficient, functionalized porous carbon from agri-waste for removing emerging pollutants in wastewater, to define the life cycle of the chat's blocking me. To define the life cycle of the functionalized porous carbon biochar, to train and inform early career researcher, industry staff, the general public, and policymaker about emerging pollutants. Next slide, please. The challenge are emerging pollutants are difficult to be treated. Low concentration of emerging pollutant can be harmful to living things. And not so many people are aware of the danger of emerging pollutants. Last, porous carbon from food byproduct support bio-green circular economy. Next slide, please. For project activities, I divide it so that it's easily understand. I mean, easier to understand. First, we prepare porous carbon from food byproducts such as macadamia nut shell, sugarcane bagasse, and coffee bean waste from coffee shop. Second, we will do absorption of emerging pollutants by porous carbon prepared from food byproducts. Next slide, please. The last one. Since we started 2 months ago, the project has been delayed. So we don't have much activities at this time. I just want to show that we went for outing for early career researcher to promote team working and sharing experiences. That's all. Thank you very much.
Lovely. Good to see you getting off to a start and getting those young people together so quick. Okay, so our next talk is from Dr. Saban Al Nasser from the University of Jordan, and he's going to talk about a UK-Jordan partnership to build capacity of power grid to integrate solar piezovoltaic systems. Dr. Al Nasser. Oh, photovoltaic systems, I beg your pardon. You need to unmute.
Okay. Hello. Hello. Hi, David. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. So today I will present part of the work done in this RANG project. This project is in the context of solar PV integration. It is delivered in partnership between the University of Jordan, Cardiff University, and the Electricity Distribution Company. It's one of the 3 electricity distribution network operators in Jordan, and it serves 70% of the area in the country. Next, please. So before we go into the details, I would like just to provide an overview of the Jordan electrical energy generation and the challenge here in Jordan. One of the main challenges in Jordan is that 90% of our electricity needs is based on imported fuel sources from neighboring country. And this is indeed creating energy security challenge in Jordan. And we faced such challenge in 2011. So if you can see here that the cost of electricity goes from 5 pence to 14 pence per kilowatt hour due to the loss of Egyptian natural gas pipeline. And now, even if you are in better position due to the government initiative to increase the share of renewable, we still need to improve the share of dependence of local energy sources. However, the integration of solar energy in Jordan starts creating problems on the power system. Next, please. So what kind of problems, what kind of impact? So if you can see here, it's a sample of power system. So traditionally, the power is produced from central generators and going downstream to the end users. However, what is going with the solar PV start changing these traditional flows. I would create problems on the network in terms of voltage issues and thermal overloading of the network assets. And the network operators right now start stopping the growth of solar PV. And this is not really good. Also, next slide, please. Also, we start having impacts on the transmission system operator, which is really challenging here in Jordan, because this means that we could have an impact on the ability to keep the lights on. And now the solution adopted by the transmission system operator is to switch off existing PV plants or limiting the PV installation. And so this was the context of our project, the background. So next, please. So now how to proceed? Next, please. So now how to proceed? How the questions was, are our policies good enough for the future? How could we integrate the advancement in batteries demand side management? To do so, we developed an advanced planning framework to cater for the integration of solar PV based on real data, real network, real PV profile. And this is happening for the first time in Jordan, to have such collaboration between industry and academia in the context of solar PV integration and the context of power system. And this will inform the policymakers. So next, please. So one of the, next, please. So one of the conclusions, I will not go into the technical details of this slides. However, one of the conclusions that we have found in this project, based on our models and the support of the industry partner, that we need to change our existing policies. So this means that if we change the existing policy, could we integrate more renewable sources and with negligible impact on the grid? So the question now, how to change and how to implement these policies in the future based on the models. And this is based on real networks in the south of Jordan. Next, please. And also throughout this project and in collaboration with a scientific research funded project, we develop a product. It's a smart socket able to manage the
We have a freeze. He's dropped out. Oh, yeah, come back again. You're on mute. You still seem to...
with other projects.
It's fine.
Could you hear me? So next, please. So an important part of our project is the implication on education. So we are improving our courses based on the results of this project, inputs, models, and also we have new softwares to improve our courses delivered to undergraduate and graduate students based on UK expertise. And we are disseminating our outputs in research, peer-reviewed top journal papers, as we see here. Next, please. And here are some of the pictures from the activities in Jordan. This is an event in collaboration with GIZ. So we have here more than 100 attendees from UK, Jordan, and worldwide. University in Jordan, university outside, and from the industry. Next, please. And here are some, next, please. And here are some of the activities in Jordan. The visits of UK academics to Jordan and to our industry partners. Next, please. And here are our visits to the UK to deliver a presentation from our academics here at the University of Jordan and also from our industry partner. And this is the last slide. So I would like to thank the Royal Academy for their support throughout this project within Newton Khaldi Fund. Thank you.
Lovely. Thanks very much. So our next one is Dr. Aysegul Aksoy from the Middle East Technical University in Turkey. And he's going to talk about turnover response system development.
Hello, I'm Aysegul Aksoy.
I beg your pardon.
Okay, next, please. Next slide. Okay, on behalf of our project group, I will be introducing our project today. In our project, we aim to develop a cost-efficient real-time monitoring and autonomous response system to minimize aquatic species deaths due to sudden changes in oxygen levels due to turnover in temperature-stratified eutrophic lakes. We are mainly concerned with mass fish kills as it is a threat to food security as well. Next slide, please. During a turnover, the bottom anoxic layers mixes up with the upper layers, and this creates the whole system to be oxygen deficient. In time, the oxygen levels will be restored back, but in the meanwhile, we may observe adverse effects on ecosystem sustainability, recreational services, fish farming, and food security will be impacted as well. Fish farming is important for many countries. According to State Hydraulic Works of Turkey, millions of small fish have been introduced into selected ponds and dam reservoirs. And fish farming in these locations contributed about 1 billion Turkish liras to the Turkish economy in recent years. But there are some problems as well. Fish deaths are observed due to turnovers, as well as other factors leading to fish deaths. Next, please. Now, as turnover can occur within hours, even at nighttime, fish deaths actually can be observed in a short period of time. So there's a need to develop a system that would go beyond monitoring and warning of officials of the critical conditions. So in order to avoid that, we can supply aeration, but if you supply continuous aeration, this would be very expensive. So what we do in our, or what we will do in our project, we're going to use technological advances, simulation techniques, like simulation modeling, IT technologies. We will be using some sensors, water quality sensors. All together, we're going to come up with a system to minimize the impacts of a turnover event, and we're going to achieve this through real-time monitoring, turnover time prediction, and autonomous emergency action, which includes operation of the aerators in the lake without human intervention. So the system will decide when to operate the aerators, and basically there will be no human intervention. We're going to conduct a study in Lake Emir, which is our study site, a eutrophic lake in Ankara, where hundreds of thousands of fish died during turnovers over years. Next slide, please. Now, I know our time is limited, so I'm not going to go over all the project activities one by one, but I believe the presentations will be available to you, so you can check them out. Now, next one, please. What I can say is that I want to just point out that all partners, all project partners are contributing to almost all work packages, but of course, partners have some concentration areas. For example, the Cardiff team will be mainly focusing on turnover time prediction model development, while PRF would be mainly focusing on data transfer, data visualization, interface, and software development, and all activities relevant to the operation of real-time monitoring and emergency action system. Next, please. In the dissemination activities, I just want to point out that we're also going to integrate the experience into a graduate level course as a case study. Next one, please. Now, actually, we started our project a couple of months ago. So up to now, what we've done is, I have some videos. I don't know if you will be able to run them or not, but what we've done is we've done calibration of the instruments that we would be using in the station in the lake. Also, now we can obtain, we have the interface and we have the software prepared, so we can obtain the real-time data from our sensors and see the results, the readings on our screen. Next one, please. Next slide. Okay, it's still going on. Okay, now here we see the readings that we obtained from our sensors on real-time basis. So this is on Grafana platform. So we have the algorithms written, and right now, actually, we can obtain the real-time data and see it, visualize it on our screens on the server at the university. Next slide, please. Now, here you see our team. You can contact us we also have other young researchers helping us as well, but I didn't put their pictures here, but you can see their pictures on our website. This is our email that you can use to contact us. Our website is currently under construction, but in a few weeks, it will be online, and there you can find information about our project. So thank you and stay safe.
Lovely, thank you very much. And nice to see a image of the lake there to give it a bit of color and flavor. Okay, so our next talk is by Dr. Jianming Yi from the University of Pretoria in South Africa, and they're going to, he is going to talk about design and maintenance optimization for large-scale photovoltaic arrays, so more photovoltaic power. Over to you.
Thank you, David. Can you hear me? Okay, good day, everyone. I'm here to present our project entitled South Africa Energy Infrastructure Planning for Rural Urbanization based on optimal peer-to-peer energy sharing. My name is Jianming Ye. I'm from University of Pretoria. And this project is in collaboration with Cranfield University and the University of York in the UK. And our South African industry partner is Optimal Engineering Solutions. There is another UK industry partner from Intrust Microgrid. And the aim of these projects are so split into three areas in terms of teaching, research, and innovation. For teaching purpose, we had a plan to supervise a number of final year students, master and PhD students, and also we also disseminating our knowledge to the industry partners. Our research will focus on the areas of microgrid, load modeling, electrical vehicles, modern power electronics, energy storage system, and also the peer-to-peer energy trading. Finally, from our research outcome is the base of the project. As you can see that the time and the budget occupies 60%. And from the innovation point of view, we would like this knowledge to contribute for the business development in terms of enhance the power supply capacity building, and also advanced techniques of peer-to-peer energy sharing. Next slide, please. Thanks. We proposed the project, this project due to the following facts that's happening in South Africa. So firstly, we had very frequently we are experiencing load shedding due to lack of capacity, especially during the peak time or the winter times. There's also this causes unstable power supply. And then because there are many new lands in South Africa, they still needs to be urbanized and developed. However, we don't have sufficient power for that purpose. And we know that when we develop new land, or we targeting urbanization, and certainly in the near future, we expecting that electrical vehicles to be in large application. So however, our existing grid cannot afford to offer any additional power capacity to support the development. So, and another one is the electricity tariff in the country is keep increasing. So this might be a same picture globally. And then actually the local policy also aims to address the same issue. So our proposal is well aligned with the national policy, such as national energy efficiency strategy and the carbon tax. They currently encourage development of independent power producers and also the integrated resource plan. Next one, please, thanks. The major project activity as I said, in three areas. So for teaching, we are planning to develop several training courses. It's a joint development of, across all our partnership. And then there are final year student project, master and PhD supervision, also jointly conducted by the academic partners. And then we have a very heavy focus on research in terms of the load modeling, networked microgrids, especially for the development of new lands. And then the new concept of peer-to-peer energy sharing for the microgrids when they have surplus power, such that they can trade between each other. And with the applicability of this framework, we're able to downgrade the size of the microgrids and other system components. So we definitely need support from the power electronics, management of the energy storage system. To support with our development, we planned several activities of student and staff exchange. And we also have plans to present our research outcome in national and international conferences. For business innovation, we plan to develop a several small-scale microgrids such that based on solar PV and small size energy storage system, such that we can also simulate the trading of electricity during the daytime. And then we will attend the exhibition conference to showcase our development. And we will also look into the business model development for the proposed concept. Next one, please. So this project was started from middle of this year. And you know that we currently also under the lockdown status. So we don't have opportunity to travel, but we have frequent communications among our partnership. The pictures shows here are our research development on the line. First one is our industrial partner has selected those lands for new developments. Second picture shows the concept of peer-to-peer energy trading. The third graph on the left bottom, that's the design of internal trading mechanism and price mechanism for different type of peers in the network. Lastly, we look into the future when we have electrical vehicles, so we need to enhance the charge stations. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, David.
Lovely. Thank you very much indeed. So our last talk is then Dr. Paula Zapata Ramirez from Colombia, from the Universidad Pontificia Bolivariana. And she's going to talk to us about using remotely piloted aircraft systems as tools for coral reef monitoring, management, and stakeholder engagement. Paula.
Thank you, David, for the introduction, and thank you very much for the invitation. So our UK partner is Newcastle University, but we are also working with several universities here in Colombia, such as la Universidad Nacional de Colombia. Our industry partner is Ecopetrol, which is the oil and gas industry in the country, and Geomares, that is a survey company. Next, please. So the project aim is to establish an international network for expertise and capacity building that will help to create and rigorously methods that include innovative methods and technologies for the assessment of marine environments in the country in order to improve management and decision-making capacities. This network will support advances in the competitiveness in marine science, foster collaboration among researchers, industry, and educators in the country. Next, please. So our main aim is to support the Sustainable Development Goals, in particular number 14, life below water. Although these are globally agreed indicators, the collection of data for the production of the result is expected to tackle place at country level. This will require significant level of capacity development and technical support. How to raise awareness, contribute ideas, build synergies, and promote strategies to make ocean science more relevant to society in the context of the ocean decade. Next, please. So in the context of Colombia, we are 50% sea in the country. We have coast in the Pacific and in the Caribbean. And nowadays, all these activities are showing in the slide are rapidly increasing. Next, please. Therefore, sustainable management and conservation of ocean require a solid and trust knowledge base upon which decisions are made. Marine tech refers to instruments, equipments, vessels, process, and methodologies required to produce and use knowledge to improve the study and the understanding of nature and resources on the ocean and coastal areas. Here I'm presenting our activities. We were on board of a national vessel that belongs to the Navy that is also part of our network, and Pioneer 500, which is an ROV that we are deploying in order to get, in particular, very high resolution maps. Next, please. So here is an example that how we are producing high resolution maps. Please go on with the slide to show the maps. Go on. So through image processing and machine learning, we are producing high resolution maps, as I said, in order to produce good information to decision making from the different actors that have some interest or work in the sea. Next, please. So here, just showing how we are integrating bathymetry, high resolution bathymetry, and then how we collect the images with ROVs in order to establish the relationship between the ecosystems and the place where they form. Next. Here is an example of a national park that also has important activities around it. Such as submarine cable, fishing activities, exploration blocks. So the idea here is to try to integrate the ecosystem presence of in the areas where different companies or activities are related to the area. Next, please. Run, please, the video. So here we are also showing how we are also integrated drone images in order to provide some briefing, for instance, for people that visit the MPA areas, marine protected areas, so people are able to see how to protect the area, what they are going to see while they're visiting the MPA's areas. Next, please. Next. Could you run, please, that one? Okay, so here, in the meantime, we are in lockdown. We are now collecting new data from different sources and for our industry and academy partnerships program. So we are running new material in this example. I'm showing some LiDAR bathymetry data from a Providencia Island Natural Park. Next, please. Here is to show how we are integrating different kind of approaches in order to have better map resolutions that we can use for decision making in all the activities are occurring at those places in the country. Next, please. Finally, we have been running different workshops, integrating community engagement, but also running on board the vessels in order to show the different stakeholders, you know, the important to these kind of projects. So in this slide, I'm showing an activity that was run on board the research vessel in the country, and we were inviting oil and gas companies, submarine cables, fisheries authorities, tourism representatives, environmental license agency, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Transport, and the National Administrative Department of Statistics. Next, please. So with this data, we are providing policymakers and stakeholders with scientific knowledge to support sea governance, aim to sustainable management of resources, and the conservation of ecosystems towards the achievement of the 2030 agenda. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you very much. Y ojalá que pueda venir a Colombia en el año que viene.
Oh, great. You're welcome to come. Looking
So,
forward.
a few final points then. I mean, the first thing to say is, of course, the virus has had effects on us all, but one thing we are much more used to now is these sort of online webinars. In fact, this program has been having online webinars for some years, but now we're much more used to it, and we can really share these experiences. And what we've seen is this huge range of objectives in these programs. And that was one of the key things we wanted to get out here, that we really want to fund what you think is important, so long as it fits within the program. And that range of things is huge. And indeed, the very wide range of impacts that we've seen today on your country and sometimes beyond your country. And also what we're looking for is how this can be continued beyond the funding. So we don't just give you a hit and then it all stops, how these things can carry forwards. And I'd really like to thank everybody for all their presentations, and particularly for the images that you put in their presentations, because I think you'll all agree that it really helps to bring things to life, that you can really see something concrete that's really happening, and that we're really making a difference with this program. So with that, there's been a whole series of questions in the chat. As Richard said, he'll respond to them, but we'll put the responses on the web page so that everybody can see the responses to the questions. Okay, and with that, I'd like to wind up and thank you all very much. And I wish you all good luck with your projects, but also with your applications. And we look forward to seeing them.